Well, you may be aware that this film is hailed as one of, if not the worst movie ever made. Think Troll 2, Pocket Ninjas, Richard Harrison's endless ninja films and Zardos all mixed together and made in the late 1950s on a terribly low budget, and that's what you get. The film opens up with an old guy quite obviously reading his lines from directly in front of him and informing us that this film is a future event, and something that I would never have worked out for myself, the fact that the future is where we will spend the rest of our lives. No shit. Oh, and apparently we're his friend.
Greetings, my friend. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. And remember, my friend.
This is one bullshit opening, yet great at the same time. It just reeks of the beginning of Zardos with his floating head. Ugh, rehab is beginning to call once again. But the question is this, folks: can your heart take the shocking facts of grave robbers from outer space?
Can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from outer space?
And bam! Into the opening exciting credits. This simply is one roller coaster of a movie that sadly only goes in one direction. Down. But it's entertaining nonetheless. So every now and then at random points, our friend will pipe up and tell us some boring, pointless facts about what is happening, because otherwise you'll be completely clueless. It's so fragmented, it's unbelievable. Here some people are standing over a grave, and that old man there, that's Bela Lugosi. Now he's famous for playing Dracula, if you were wondering, which is quite interesting in this movie, but I'll get to that later on. So in step two, gravediggers, who seem to be lifted from some other footage. It's just stock footage and dubbed over with fucking awful dialogue, but it's not like it's out of place because the entire movie is full of laughable dialogue.
Yeah, sort of spooky like. Maybe we're getting old. Whatever it is, gone now. That's the best thing for us too, gone. Yeah, let's go.
So these two goons walk away after a hard day's work, and holy shit, what's that in the dark behind the tomb? It's a vampire with extra long fingers. Just an everyday occurrence. Now the gravediggers must be at the other side of the world though, because it's still daylight. Oh, no, it's night time, look. Oh, the horror! And we're meant to believe that they died. Brilliant. So Lugosi, who our friend just simply calls Old Man, like he's not even worthy enough to have a proper name, is depressed about his wife's death and he walks away.
Never to return again.
So I'm assuming that he was run over by a car or something, hence the ridiculous scream and the screech of tyres. I love the way our friend delivers his lines. He's so passionate and messed up.
Unknown to his mourners, his dead wife was watching.
What's she doing? All she does is stand around in the same bloody area of the graveyard, waving her fingers around. Now speaking of the graveyard, get used to seeing this part of the set because it's about one of only 5 or 6 small sets in the entire film. Ed Wood, who directed this movie, sure didn't like spending money on his films. But who's Ed Wood, I hear you ask? Well, he was just a shit filmmaker. That's the end of today's history lesson. Now, if you'd like to complain about my blatant disrespect of Mr. Wood, please write to the email address which I will be giving out at the end of this review. So, back on track. Yes, the graveyard. Still there. Some mourners see the dead bodies of the gravediggers, although they just look like a pile of clothes more than anything. I guess they didn't find stock footage of gravediggers laying together on the floor. Meanwhile, up in the sky on a commercial airliner, or a small room that includes a shower curtain, fake looking clock and very strange controls, 2 pilots, Jeff and his friend, are witnesses to the greatest moment in the history of cinema. Now just before I show you, check out what happens to the realistic cockpit here. The walls shake about, you can see the shadow of the boom mic up there, and the guys have to hold on to their things, whatever the hell they are, just in case they lose them. What on earth could have caused this? That! Now it's easy to laugh at the mediocre effects, but with a shoestring budget, making alien crafts from saucepan lids and string is pretty radical. In this day and age with endless CGI effects and whatnot, it's easy to pull it to pieces. But with CGI, after a while, you look at it and think, that's not really there, that's fake. But with this, the saucepan and string are real. How mind-blowing is that? It's physically there, so that makes it amazing in my mind. Nice one, Ed Wood. Fuck CGI. You really knew what you were doing back in the old days. Okay, about Lugosi. He says nothing in this film and his parts are short-lived to say the least. Now his role as the old man was apparently filmed before anything else, and then he died after he heard the plot for the rest of the film. So whenever you see him resurrected chasing people about, it's in fact another guy, hence why he walks around in a very classic Dracula type way, with his black cape and trying to cover up his face. I honestly think his arm is surgically fixed in that position. It's nothing to do with the fact he's trying to hide himself as he's a different actor. Oh Ed, you devil. That's it, turn around that way, walk slowly so we don't see your face. Now, none of the zombies, or whatever you want to call them, speak. They just walk around chasing people, and I literally mean walk. Look at these few clips here to see prime examples. Of course, the evil forces always get their victims because they don't even try to escape. Retards. So if you're ever stalked by somebody on the phone and there's just silence on the other end, it's most likely the resurrected body of Bela Lugosi. Or perhaps a giraffe, because giraffes are mute as well. That would be really strange. Anyway, the police are called in once flying saucer lids are seen hovering around Hollywood and some random old lady calls the cops. Now, with all these UFOs flying around in broad daylight, you'd think that thousands upon thousands of people would see them. But no, it's up to some old crow to bring this news to light. This detective is trapped in the oh so familiar graveyard by Vampire Lady and fake Lugosi. Sure, he shoots him a few times and Vampire Lady even flinches at one point, but it does fuck all and he's killed, and while this goes on, the rest of the present coppers are knocked to the ground by an overhead UFO. Check out that guy in the background falling into one of the wooden graves. Now that's just one little error. This film is full of them, so if you can spot more than 10, please write to the email address which I will be giving out at the end of this review. So now these three resurrected dead idiots have the task of destroying the entire human race on the planet. Now it nearly isn't even 3, as Fat Man can barely get out of his grave here. And this is the aliens' apparent Plan 9, to use 3 dead humans to wipe out a planet of billions. How can an army of 3 kill an entire world population, especially when they couldn't even catch a cold because they walk so slow? I guess old people on Zimmer frames would be fucked, but you know, this world is overpopulated in all fairness, so that's not too bad. God only knows what plans 1 to 8 were like. Fucking awful, probably. So after all this, I think it's time to finally reveal the aliens to you. Now, they don't look like this, or this. Aliens, boys and girls, actually look like this. Yep, they look like humans wearing stupid futuristic clothes, and they speak English. Now apparently they do speak another language, but the army have thankfully invented the language computer. Language computer. There is nothing I can say about that. It's genius. Or stupid. And stupid is what the aliens think the human race is.
Your stupid minds! Stupid! Stupid!
He's now worked his way into being my favourite actor of all time. Forget Kurt Russell and the oh my god guy. So the reason the aliens want to destroy the human race is because in the future, remember this film will be in the future, although in a mind-blowing and bamboozling odd statement, our friend mentions the film's events in a past tense. But, you know, he's a wanker anyway, so there you go. Humans will ultimately discover solanite, whatever the hell that is, and it will also apparently destroy sunlight, which will ultimately destroy the universe. Now the humans don't stand for this shit though, and they enter the flying saucepan lid, which is in the graveyard just parked up. Now it looks like a corner of a house to me from that angle, but in the sky there's no right angles on it. Asshole Jeff claims it's a totally different shape altogether.
It was shaped like a huge cigar.
This stock footage of Bela Lugosi pops up time after time where he's just standing in a field in the daylight, and then it cuts to a fake Lugosi walking around like one-armed bandit, but notice he's in the dark, and this repeats endlessly until the aliens actually decide to shoot him with, and I quote, a decomposition ray. Now this turns Old Man or Dracula or whatever the hell you want to call him into a skeleton, which appears to be the size of a child. What a bag of bollocks. I like how he almost killed a police officer seconds before, and so exciting was the moment that nobody seemed to notice or care about him.
What about your man?
Oh, the excitement, I forgot all about Kelton.
So the humans are on the spaceship at the end. Jeff, the pilot, has an intense brawl with the goon male alien. The fat zombie is walking around outside in the dark like he has been doing all the time he's been on screen, and he's destroyed by a whack to the back of the head. Forget bullet, a plank of wood holds all the answers. Finally, the humans exit the burning ship, which takes off in a gulf of flames before exploding, and the heroes stand around talking crap. They then spot the fat man who's somehow turned into a skeleton, and then they suddenly realise there's still the woman out there. Now the last time you see her, she's standing around looking into space in the same goddamn spot as usual.
There's another ghoul running loose. And it's my guess that she'll look like him.
Well, I suppose saying that saves you having to actually film a proper ending involving her. Nice one, Ed. Oh, and that email address if you want it is hk7 at...